Hi guys, welcome to SciCommcast, your favorite bite-sized source of science. We're your hosts, Earl
and Meyer. Tonight, we're going to be looking back at how science advanced enough to handle COVID-19.
Hey Meyer, do you remember a time when doctors would pump carbolic acid into surgical rooms to try to sterilize them?
No.
Honestly, me neither, and thank goodness. Today, we're lucky enough to understand that quote-unquote germs, aka microorganisms like bacteria, viruses, and fungi, cause diseases and they cause food spoilage. But centuries ago, that wasn't really the case. The journey to this discovery all began with germ theory, a scientist named Pasteur, and some weird-looking flasks.
To understand how germ theory came to be, the idea that microorganisms were behind food going bad and disease, we can use the scientific method. It's an age-old way to systematically ask questions, get answers, and gain knowledge. You observe, you hypothesize, make a prediction basically, you investigate and test your theory, then you evaluate.
What Pasteur observed is that you can leave some broth out and it becomes cloudy and generally just gross. But if you boil it and seal it, that never really happens. He asked himself the question, are there particles in the air making this occur?
What he hypothesized from that question is that if there are particles in the air, so microbes like bacteria, that cause it to go off, then a flask should stay clear if you can make sure these particles aren't introduced.
To investigate this claim, Pasteur came up with what's now known as a classic experiment. He decided to use some funny-looking flasks for it that were able to collect particles before they reached the contents inside. His idea was to boil flasks of broth, let them chill and chill some more. If they didn't become cloudy, then the spoiling that normally occurred was caused by the particles that got trapped in the neck. He went about and tested this, collecting his results. What he found out is that flasks were able to remain clear indefinitely, but if you tipped them over, broke the neck, or otherwise introduced them to the particles sitting in the neck, they went off.
Ugh, I bet Pasteur couldn't look at broth the same way again.
The last stage was evaluating what happened. The particles in the air, microbes, seemed to be what was causing the spoiling, and his hypothesis was supported. His experiment didn't mean he was correct, mind you, but it helped build the evidence for germ theory over a competing theory of the time called spontaneous generation. The idea that living things like germs could arise from non-living things, so basically from thin air.
Today, we have a lot to thank Pasteur for, especially in the times of COVID-19. With entire catalogs of nasty microbes that can harm us, and we're adding to it every single day. It all starts with a question, folks, a way to try to test if your prediction is correct, and a willingness to change your hypothesis if needed. Knowledge is key, my friends, so go out and try the scientific method any way you can.
We've been your hosts, Earl
and Meyer.
See you all next time on SciCommcast. Join us next week as we tackle how to recognize and wrestle, figuratively, not literally, with pseudoscience.